Namaskar. Uh, Today we are going to discuss about the carbonyl cluster or cluster compound. Cluster compounds, or we can say metal cluster compounds. By the name, it is made up by the three words. First is one your metal, other one is your cluster, and third one is your compound. There is the three things. Metal, which type of metal is responsible for formation of the cluster? Generally transition metal. Transition metal. Cluster, what is the cluster? Cluster means group जिसको हम समूह भी बोलते हैं. It is the group for which, कौन सा group? For group of transition metal, or we can write metal also, we can write group of transition metal where metal bond takes place, where metal bond takes place. And third one is your compound. You know very well that compound is made up of two or more than two ligands. Then compound, either one ligand, two ligand, three ligand, four ligand, so on. So this compound is formed by the ligands. This is your transition metal. Then if we can write definition of your metal cluster, then what we can write? The clusters compound are those compounds in which metal bonds take place, in which two or more than two metal bind with their bonding. ठीक है, एक मेटल यहां एक मेटल यहां, इससे अगर मेटल और मेटल के बीच में अगर बॉन्डिंग होती है, इसका मतलब इट हैव योर क्लस्टर्स कंपाउंड. Right? Now a question arises, why cluster is formed? Why clusters are formed? Why cluster are formed? Cluster क्यों बनता है? Okay? You know very well, in previous classes we have already discussed about the 16 electron rule and 18 electron rule. 16 electron rule for square planar complex and square planar complexes, and 18 electrons rule, where 18 electrons rule we get all the compounds which is in the form of this table. Or we can say that 18 electrons rule, we are calculating the valence electrons of the compounds and or with the help of the oxidation state. ठीक है, 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन रूल हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उसके लिए हम लोग टोटल वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन काउंट करते हैं. अगर टोटल वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन इज 18, देन वी कैन कंसीडर एज इट इज द स्टेबल कॉम्प्लेक्स. Cluster is formed when cluster is formed when your compounds does not obtain 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन रूल. मतलब जब वो 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन रूल को नहीं प्राप्त होता है, उसको उसमें टोटल वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन की संख्या 18 नहीं होती है, उस समय क्या होता है कि अपनी स्टेबिलिटी को बढ़ाने के लिए, फॉर मेकिंग द स्टेबिलिटी इट विल combine to each other, or metals are combined to each other and form metal form and clusters are formed. For example, if we take the example of OSCO4, if we see this electronic configuration, our total valence electron TVE. If we can calculate the total valence electron, its total valence electron is 16. How? You know very well osmium have total valence electron is 8 because osmium is your iron group D8 D6 8th group metal D6 5d6 6s2. It means total 8 valence electron are here and 4 carbonyl have, you know very well that one carbonyl contribute 2 electrons, then it means the 4 carbonyl have the 8 electron, then total 16 electron. It is the unstable. For making the stability, what's happen, it form a trigonal clusters such OS3CO12. Same if you can consider RHCO3, this rhodium have your C. Here is 9, valence electron is 9 plus 6 is equal to 15. It means it obtained 15 electron, which is also be unstable. For making the stability, it again, what it form? It form RH4CO12. It is in the form of the cluster. And we know very well cluster is two types, either organometallic cluster and the inorganic cluster. Organometallic cluster we consider as your like this MCOX, this is your organometallic clusters. Yeah, M2 या MXCOY, just you can write it. MX, X is more than 2, 2 are more than 2. This is your organometallic cluster. An inorganic cluster like as a Re2Cl8 2-. This is your inorganic cluster, and further we will discuss it again. And after that, if we consider the metal carbonyl cluster, then metal carbonyl cluster have two types: low nuclearity metal carbonyl cluster and a high nuclearity carbonyl cluster, LNCC and MHNCC. LNCC and HNCC, low nuclearity carbonyl cluster, high nuclearity, and we will discuss in the next classes. Thank you very much.